God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul. And allow yourself to slow down for a moment, because what you are about to receive is not meant to rush your heart or overwhelm your thoughts." This message came gently, at a time when you may not have been expecting it, because real alignment never announces itself loudly. It arrives quietly, meeting you where you are, asking only that you stay present long enough to recognize it. There are connections in life that are casual, temporary, and meant only for a season, and then there are connections that feel different from the beginning. You may not always understand why certain people linger in your thoughts, why one presence feels heavier with meaning than others, or why your heart reacts before your mind has time to explain it. That reaction is not imagination. It is recognition. Recognition happens when something aligns with your future, not just your present. You may have noticed that this person enters your awareness in subtle ways. Sometimes through a thought that arrives without effort, sometimes through a feeling of calm rather than excitement, sometimes through a sense of familiarity that feels older than memory. These are not dramatic signs meant to shock you. They are quiet confirmations meant to steady you. Deep connections rarely begin with intensity, they begin with ease. Love that is meant to last does not confuse you. It does not force urgency or pressure. It feels grounding, even when it challenges you to grow. It makes you more yourself, not less. If someone has been appearing in your life, or even just in your thoughts, in a way that brings reflection instead of chaos, that is worth paying attention to. Angels speak through awareness, not through fear. They guide by drawing your attention inward, helping you notice patterns rather than pushing you toward conclusions. This message is not here to tell you to act impulsively or to label someone prematurely. It is here to invite you to observe with clarity and patience. Observation reveals truth faster than assumption ever could. You may feel surprised because part of you did not expect alignment to feel this calm. Many people assume that meaningful love arrives with intensity and uncertainty. In reality, love meant for your future often arrives with stability and quiet confidence. It feels like something that fits rather than something you must chase. There is also preparation happening within you. Preparation does not mean waiting in anxiety. It means becoming emotionally available, honest with yourself, and clear about what you are ready to give and receive. The more grounded you become, the clearer this connection will feel. Clarity grows when you stop forcing answers and start trusting what feels steady. You might realize that this person reflects parts of you that you have been developing quietly: patience, understanding, resilience, or emotional depth. Reflection is a key sign of alignment. What mirrors your growth supports your future. What contradicts it belongs to the past. This message is not asking you to announce anything or to rush toward outcomes. It is asking you to stay open, to move with awareness, and to allow connection to reveal itself naturally. When something is meant to be, it does not require constant validation. It unfolds through consistent presence and mutual understanding. As you continue with your day, notice what feels peaceful rather than what feels dramatic. Peace is where long-term connection lives. Drama fades. Peace stays. Trust the calm recognition forming within you. It is guiding you more accurately than excitement ever could. What is aligning in your life does not need to shock you to be real. Sometimes the greatest surprise is realizing that what you were looking for feels familiar, steady, and quietly right. As this message continues, let it unfold naturally without rushing your thoughts, because what is being revealed now is not meant to shock your emotions but to steady your understanding. When something is connected to your future in a meaningful way, it rarely announces itself with noise. Instead, it shows up through subtle clarity, through patterns you begin to notice only when you slow down enough to observe your own feelings honestly. You may be realizing that certain connections in your life feel different from others, not because they are perfect or dramatic, but because they bring a sense of balance rather than confusion. Balance is often overlooked because it feels ordinary, yet it is one of the strongest indicators of long-term alignment. When a connection does not drain you, does not make you question your worth, and does not require constant reassurance, it is worth paying attention to. Angels guide through awareness rather than instruction. They do not force conclusions or push timelines. Instead, they draw your attention to what already exists beneath the surface. You may have noticed that this person reflects parts of you that are still growing: patience, emotional maturity, or a desire for stability. Reflection is significant. What reflects your growth supports your future. This stage of the message is not about labels or promises. It is about understanding readiness. Readiness does not mean having everything figured out. It means being emotionally available, grounded, and willing to meet someone without projecting old fears onto new possibilities. You may feel that you are no longer attracted to chaos the way you once were. That shift is important. It shows that your standards have evolved alongside your self-awareness. You might also notice that your intuition responds differently around this person. Instead of heightened anxiety or excitement, there is a sense of calm attentiveness. Calm does not mean lack of interest. It means safety. Safety allows authenticity. Authenticity is essential for a connection meant to grow rather than burn out. There is no urgency being placed on you here. Love connected to your future does not rush you into decisions or pressure you into certainty. It respects timing, space, and mutual readiness. When something is meant to last, it unfolds in a way that allows both people to remain themselves rather than performing roles to maintain connection. As you reflect on this message, consider how your priorities have shifted over time. What once felt important may no longer hold the same weight. This is not loss, it is refinement. Refinement prepares you to recognize what truly aligns with who you are becoming. When alignment appears, it often feels familiar, not because you have known it before, but because it matches your inner growth. This message is guiding you toward observation rather than action. Observation builds clarity. Clarity builds trust. Trust allows connection to deepen naturally. When you stop forcing outcomes, you begin to notice what fits without effort. Effortless fit is rare, and when it appears, it is worth honoring patiently. Stay present with this awareness. Let it inform how you listen, how you respond, and how you allow connections to develop. What is meant for your future does not need to be chased. It recognizes you as clearly as you recognize it. As this message moves deeper, it invites you to shift from noticing the connection to understanding what it is preparing within you. Connections tied to your future do not only arrive to add something to your life, they arrive to awaken parts of you that were already forming quietly. You may sense that this person encourages growth without demanding change, reflection without judgment, and presence without pressure. That balance is not common, and it is not accidental. You might realize that being around this person, or even thinking about them, brings a feeling of emotional steadiness. Steadiness is often mistaken for lack of intensity, but in truth, it is one of the strongest foundations for a lasting bond. Intensity can fade, but steadiness deepens. Steadiness allows trust to build naturally, without constant reassurance or emotional highs and lows. Angels guide by helping you recognize alignment rather than chasing confirmation. Alignment feels like clarity without urgency. It allows you to remain yourself without shrinking or overextending. If you feel more grounded, more honest, and more patient when this person is present in your awareness, that is meaningful. Future-oriented connections tend to support your best qualities rather than pulling you back into old patterns. There is also an inner preparation happening. You may find that your expectations of love are changing. What once felt exciting may now feel unstable. What once felt unfamiliar may now feel reassuring. This shift does not happen randomly. It happens when you are ready for connection that grows through understanding rather than drama. You might notice that communication with this person, whether direct or subtle, feels natural. There is less need to perform, impress, or protect yourself. Authenticity becomes easier when safety is present. Safety does not limit attraction, it strengthens it by allowing both people to be seen clearly. This part of the message is not about prediction. It is about awareness. Awareness helps you recognize what deserves patience and care. When something aligns with your future, it does not demand quick decisions. It invites consistency, honesty, and mutual respect. These qualities take time to reveal themselves, and that time is part of the alignment. You may also recognize that your past experiences prepared you for this stage. The lessons you learned, about boundaries, communication, and self-worth, are now active within you. They help you approach connection with discernment rather than fear. Discernment allows you to stay open without being unguarded. As this understanding settles, allow yourself to remain observant rather than reactive. Observation gives space for truth to surface naturally. When truth surfaces, it does not confuse you. It brings clarity and calm. Calm is the environment where long-term connection grows strongest. Stay with this sense of grounded awareness. Let it guide how you interact, how you listen, and how you pace yourself. What is connected to your future will not require you to rush or doubt yourself. It will meet you steadily, recognizing you just as clearly as you recognize it. As this message reaches its final depth, what matters now is not excitement, not assumptions, and not rushing toward conclusions, but integration, allowing what you have felt and understood so far to settle calmly into your awareness. When something is genuinely connected to your future, it does not create restlessness. Peace is how alignment confirms itself. At this stage, you are not being asked to do anything differently. You are being asked to be present with what is unfolding naturally. Connections meant to last do not depend on forcing timing or interpreting every sign. They grow through consistency, mutual respect, and emotional clarity. The reason this message feels grounded rather than dramatic is because what is real does not need to prove itself loudly. You may realize that your heart has already shifted into a more mature space. You are no longer seeking validation through attention or intensity. You are drawn toward sincerity, reliability, and emotional safety. This shift is crucial, because future-oriented love requires emotional stability more than emotional excitement. Stability allows love to deepen rather than burn out. Angels guide by helping you recognize what fits rather than what excites temporarily. Fit feels natural. It does not demand you to change who you are or suppress your needs. Instead, it supports your growth, encourages honesty, and allows space for individuality. If you sense that this person aligns with the version of you that feels healthiest and most authentic, that alignment is meaningful. You might notice that your patience has increased. Where you once needed immediate clarity, you now feel comfortable allowing things to reveal themselves gradually. This patience is not hesitation. It is wisdom. Wisdom understands that what is meant to last unfolds at a pace that both people can sustain. There is also an important release happening here, the release of old expectations. You may no longer believe that love must be complicated, uncertain, or emotionally exhausting. This belief shift changes everything. When your expectations change, the type of connection you attract changes too. You stop tolerating what drains you and begin recognizing what nourishes you. This final part of the message is about trust, trusting yourself, trusting your emotional growth, and trusting that what aligns with your future does not require constant doubt. Doubt fades when something is real. Questions soften. Calm remains. As you carry this understanding forward, allow yourself to move gently. Let connection develop naturally, without pressure or performance. What is meant for your future will meet you with the same clarity and steadiness you are now developing within yourself. Stay grounded. Stay observant. Stay honest with what feels peaceful rather than what feels urgent. Peace is not passive. Peace is powerful. And it is guiding you more accurately than any prediction ever could. If this message spoke directly to you, write "Amen" in the comments as a quiet acknowledgement of what your heart already knows. Press like, subscribe to stay connected to guidance meant for your journey, and share this with one person who may be ready for clarity and alignment too.